The Immortal John Hancock here, and I thought I'd do a different video today, kind of talking about ways of saving money when you're purchasing video games. This is not going to apply to everything. This is kind of just a general helpful guide. Maybe you're new to collecting, and really this is focusing on like physical versions of games and retro gaming in general. And so I did a recent video talking about kind of the higher prices that are going on and the scarcity. There's still deals to be found, and you know, the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you again are not going to apply to everything, especially like uber rare holy grails, but just things in general. Like anyone, I know that there's people out there that want to save money, and what is the best bang for the buck. And I'm going to share some tips that I've kind of shared in the past, but I haven't done this in quite a long time, and thought I'd talk with you on ways to save money when purchasing video games in general. And you may have your favorite places. You may go to GameStop. You may go to a local mom and pop video game store. I do recommend that if you do have a favorite independent store locally, to support them, as you know, these are trying times for many, especially to survive in a shrinking marketplace. And you know, there's lots of great games to get out there, and you know, there's still deals to be found. And so these are some things that I just want to share with you, and you're gonna have additional tips that you can put in the comments below to help people out. And you know, the number one thing, and the number one definitely on my list, is to shop around. There are lots of different places of getting video games. It might be online. You may try Amazon, you may try eBay, but definitely shopping around, especially if it's a newer product. Now, if it's a retro gaming product, there might be less places that offer this. But, you know, shop around. Find out the different places that offer this game. One thing to consider, though, is if you buy online, you're going to be paying shipping. And, you know, for me, having something in person and inspecting it in person always is better than any other form. Especially, there's always that, you know, factor. You get something online, you can't smell it that way. You have to go off someone else's description. Definitely buying online is my secondary option. I do prefer to purchase things in person at a game store or at a convention. Those are the best places, I think, to pick up games, especially saving on shipping. You're gonna, if you get it in person, you're gonna save shipping right there. So yes, price charting is one option of checking, just kind of a general guide on what is the value of something to make sure you're getting a good deal. And you know, I think that's a great negotiating price. If you see something that's going higher than what it's selling for, that is something you may want to bring up in a polite manner. Completed eBay auctions is a good way of checking something recently that's sold. You know, and those prices are going to vary depending on the time of the year. You know, Christmas time, things sell for higher prices because people get them for Christmas. And so that's not a perfect way of checking what is the value of something, but that's what it's sold for online. Now, there's people out there that like, well, if it's not online and I buy it in person at a flea mart or a particular place, it should be significantly cheaper. Well, I think there is a value of something, and if someone wants to get, say in person that, well, it's selling for this online, and you think it's cheaper than that, that's a negotiation there. But again, having that friendly conversation is going to get you a lot farther. Sugar is going to get you a lot farther than vinegar, and that's really important when you navigate and negotiate a deal with someone. Some places don't haggle, you know, no, they should have it, you know, they have a sign typically with that, no haggling or bartering, but many independent places do. And I'm bringing this up, trades. Some places accept trades, or many places accept trades, and that's going to significantly save you money. You may have something already in your game collection that you don't care about anymore. That can apply a credit. It has value possibly towards something that you want to trade for. And so trades definitely, and those game stores really appreciate that, as you know, trades aren't always coming in. And so if you're not having something, or you're not doing something, or don't plan on doing something with a particular game, then it might be good to offer that as trade, or sell it and then use that money towards a game that you want. And so if you haven't checked the recent value of some of your games, you may find out that they're more higher in cost or less in value than you think, but that definitely could save you money. So this next recommendation is for conventions. So if you're if you're going to a convention, you have an easy way of saving money, and it is the following. Wait till the end of the convention. If something's still sitting, you may get a better deal on it, especially if it has been sitting out for the duration of the convention and it hasn't sold. Many vendors, some of them are private owners of games, they're not game stores. They're gonna want to liquidate that and possibly give you a deal. But I'm not recommending this off the get-go at the start of a convention, as you know, if someone wants to sell something, they're gonna be more apt to giving you a better deal if it's been on the table for a long time. And so that's just kind of like common courtesy at the end of a show, a one-day show in the evening, or if it's a two-day show, definitely on Sunday, as most conventions are on weekends, you're going to get a better deal with that. And again, being polite about it as well. You know, let them know you're interested, you're going to shop around, and maybe come back to the next day. If it's still there, then you're going to get a deal or offer a deal. The other one is more in particular for more current games, as more and more games have different ports of the same game. You know, there's many games that are on Switch and PlayStation, or Switch and Xbox, or Steam, or, you know, if you want to, but focusing on physical, you can get a better deal typically. If you have multiple consoles, you may want to check an alternative way of playing a game, and you may realize there's a significant dollar jump from one version to another. It's also important to note that there's performance differences sometimes on ports, especially with newer games. And on older ports of games, there might be more significant differences. You know, it seems like more recent ports, it's more, you know, how a game runs versus how it looks. But, you know, that could differ from game to game. You know, some games look and perform a heck of a lot better, and you may want to check that out. But you may save some money, and if you don't care what version of the game, you may want to go with that alternative port for sure. The next one applies to maybe some bigger store chains, maybe even GameStop. Wait for sales. You know, I know GameStop has various sales that happen all the time, but not just GameStop. There might be a mom and pop place that has a sale going on, but waiting for sales. You know, there's different sales throughout the year. They may have a coupon, or they may have something, and you know, that adds up over time. You know, really waiting in general sometimes is a good way to save money, asking yourself, do I really need this game? How much do I want this game? Or what do I put in my mind as the value for this game that I'm willing to spend? That is, you know, waiting to buy something and getting away from that impulsivity is really going to save you money, because you may wait on an impulse and determine, you know what, I really don't want this. This is just something that I was just curious about, and maybe after a bit, you determine that you don't want to get it. And that's okay. Being patient is going to save you money, and it's a really important skill. And if you can remember to be patient, and I know it's really tough, especially if you find a good deal on something, you know, and especially if you just want to buy something. But if you're willing to be patient, you can typically save money. Not always, not on super rare stuff, not on Holy Grail stuff, but I'm looking at more of the common, uncommon factors in games where you can save money. You know, and just a reminder that being friendly and talking to vendors and really kind of pursuing that cordial and professional conversation is going to go a lot farther. You know, being honest with it, I only, you know, saying stuff like, well, this is how much I have to spend. What kind of deal can we work out? And just having that conversation, be professional. You know, being friendly is just something that I've learned just to be in general. You know, you don't always have to agree upon a price, but you don't have to trash someone if you think it's too high. You know, there's a lot of factors that people don't realize. Operating a business, paying for utilities and employees, rent. There's lots of factors, or even at a convention, you know, paying for table space, you know, sometimes can be very expensive. And so a lot of these factors, and just cost of the purchase item for the seller, you know, they're selling it typically to at least break even and hopefully to make some off a sale. And you know, that all those factors matter, and it's important going into that when you're going into a sale to understand that, you know, a sale is different for every individual person and a business. Owning a business is very difficult. There's a lot of factors that, you know, customers don't think about. Some customers don't care about, but I think it is just the reality of the fact that, you know, for that business to operate, they have costs that they have to pay up front every month and all the time, and that can be stressful. Do you have other comments you would like to add to this? I know I forgot some, but I just want to thank everybody for coming to my channel as I just surpassed 20 million views. I'm super excited about that. I want to thank you for all the ongoing support. I upload every week and have been doing that for years, up to 3 videos a week, and want to thank everybody for continuing to tune in. If you like what you see here, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you have a good day.